Hey, Tom, want to just ask you, you've had three SEC games, two on the road, one at home. Is there a home court advantage with these limited crowds anymore, or did you ever think there really was one?
Oh, I think there is one. I don't know if there is right now. I think it's different. I thought the atmosphere at Arkansas was really good. Um, I think there's always it's just that ability that when you're at home and you feel a comfort level there versus being on the road and being in a different place. I thought it didn't affect us at all at LSU. Um, I don't know. I don't know if there's really an answer to it right now. I think it all comes down to what your confidence is like and what your competitiveness is like, and if you're making shots. And I think basketball stays the same in that. I think you rise to a level when you're playing well and making shots, and then you're much better defensively. And I think when you're not, you start thinking too much. And I think that can happen at home or on the road.
Hey, Coach, appreciate you doing this. Can you where does KD Johnson fit in? I know you're a positionless basketball team, but where does he fit in?
Well, we've really missed having another peer guard, and I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, and when you recruit him, you're recruiting him to play, and there's no doubt he's going to be a factor for our team. I mean, he is as competitive as anybody that's on the team. He's strong. He's got a tremendous mindset defensively. He moves the ball. He moves without the ball. He can shoot. He's got a confident. He's got a contagious confidence. Put it that way. He's got a contagious confidence. And yesterday's practice, I mean, he's practiced with us, but it's been different. I mean, and there's no question about it. But yesterday there was just a different edge. There was a different edge to him. There was a different edge to everybody else. And now it allows us to do, even more personnel wise, with our backcourt, and allows us a lot of different options. So it's obviously going to take some time for him to get well versed in it when it comes to playing games, when everybody's played 10 and he hasn't played one yet. But he's just an absolute baller. And when you've got that kind of mindset, I think you're going to fit in really well and impact the team.
All right, let's have Ryan Curley and then Chip Towers.
Hey, Coach. Auburn's five-star freshman is also now eligible, Sharif Cooper, and he played against Alabama on Wednesday. How much of a focus has he been in the film room and preparing for this game?
Well, I think he has to be. I don't think there's any question about it because the ball's in his hands a lot. So it'll be very interesting to see how they play because Justin Powell has played a lot of point guard and Flanagan has played a lot of point guard. So it'll be interesting, as the game unfolds to see the changes that they've made since the Alabama game. But he is a dominant ball handler, passer. He makes great decisions. And they run a ton of ball screen with him. And so when you've got the ball in your hands like that, there's no question that he's got to be a focus. But at the end of the day, they're making 11 threes a game, shooting 33s in the league. And there is no way that we can become so focused on one player that we overhelp or we put ourselves in a situation where we're not honoring everybody else on the floor.
Coach, I know it's all about going forward in the season, but I'm just wondering, when you guys played LSU, was there any thought to going straight to Fayetteville from Baton Rouge since you guys weren't in class at the time? And do you think if those are two long trips back to back, I guess you could have gone to Texas A&M, but the only way you'd had longer road trips. I don't know if that had a factor on the way you played at Arkansas, but I just wondered if that was any consideration.
Well, I don't think it had a factor. I mean, it could go either way. I think in a situation like that, because we're not in school yet, you feel much better in the sense of being at home, being back at home in your environment, where you can kind of control things a little bit more, especially with I don't want to quite totally say it's a bubble environment, but it's a little bit more like that. But we talked about it, but at the end of the day, we decided to come home. We got practice in here. We went back, and I don't think that was a huge factor. I think the fact that we didn't come back out in the second half and play with nearly the same spirit and toughness and energy was more of a factor.
All right, let's have Zach Klein and then Palmer Tomes.
I'm good, Catherine. He got my question. Thank you.
All right, then Palmer, take it away.
Yeah, Coach, obviously there's plenty to learn about KD on the court, but wanted to ask you about what he's like off the court. Is there any stories that come to mind about him around the team or during your recruitment of him that just, go to show what kind of personality he has?
Well, I would just say a couple things. I think this doesn't really answer your question, but it kind of does. Here's what he's done here. He just went and got a 3.25 GPA as a freshman that was not able to play in games because basically he was a half a credit short in the situation of where he was at, and had a lot of underlying circumstances in his life, and has continued to deal with that while he's been here. You know, when it comes to death in his family, sickness of a grandfather, you know, going through the struggles of all this. I think the character that he has shown in the semester here and what he's done academically and how he's persevered when all his teammates are playing. And here's a guy that loves basketball as much as anybody on our team and is as competitive as anybody on our team. And he hasn't been able to do it. But I think what you'll see over a period of time as he gets comfortable, you'll see that competitiveness and contagious confidence that he has come out in other people. And I think you will also see just the absolute toughness that he plays with. And I think you'll see leadership. So he's a well-liked, I mean, yesterday was a very, very emotional time when we found out that he was eligible, because we didn't see it coming at that point. And I was going off from a film meeting into a Zoom with the head coaches in the athletic administration. And Brian Fish let me know he had just found out. And it was emotional. I mean, it was emotional for me. It was emotional for his teammates. It was emotional for him. So I don't think there's any question that he is a very well-liked, highly thought of young guy on our team who's just got a giant heart. And I think you'll see that come out.
All right, for the last two questions, let's have Jed May and then Davis Baker.
Hey, Coach. Three-point shooting has been something you guys have struggled with in SEC play, especially. Do you think you need to do anything different going forward in terms of still playing up tempo and racing down the court and stuff, but also, you know, maybe not shooting as many threes if that's something you guys are struggling with?
No, I think we got to shoot them better. I think we made 12 at LSU. I think we've got to move. It really comes down to moving the ball better. You know, we've taken some inopportune shots. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, again, Tumani Kamara doesn't have a high percentage and he makes 3 the other day. You know, we've got to make 3-point shots. And now, do we need to shoot them real quick? Do we need to shoot them on the break? No, we don't necessarily need to do that. We need to do it in a drive and kick, inside out type of way. And we need to make the next pass better. But we're missing some open shots. And so I'm not as when we're hunting threes is when I have a problem. And that's what we've got to make sure that we're not doing when we predetermine it. Now, there might be plays, there might be actions. When that ball is moving and it's free flowing, knock it down. Knock it down. But we've got to make threes to win in this league. And, you know, we've got to get closer to where we were in that LSU game than where we've been in the Mississippi State and the Arkansas game when it comes to makes. And it's going to be a huge factor tomorrow night, because like I mentioned earlier, the fact that Auburn's making 10 overall and 11 in the league. So we've got to do a really good job of not only getting some threes, but we've got to really defend the three.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach, kind of piggybacking off Mark's question, but now that students are back on campus, are you expecting the environment to be any different?
Am I expecting what?
The environment to be any different going forward at home?
The environment of the games or the campus?
Oh, no, of the games. Yeah, at Stegman.
Well, I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to change a lot on attendance. Yeah, I think there'll be an energy uptick. I was really excited about the way that the students that were here during the break and how great they were. And so I have no complaints. I thought they've been outstanding. And I think we can continue to do more with game management, game operations, keep turning it up in here and keep trying to make it a fun environment. And I think there's no question having students back with that energy is going to help us.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys. See you later.